Hello friends, and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Kat, and today I wanted to do a little bit of a update video, kind of June wrap up, month review, all of that good stuff. So the way I'm thinking of doing this is first reviewing the goals I had set for the month of June and see how well I did. And for the second part of this video, I would like to do a kind of monthly review, which is inspired by Maria Andrea from Books and Bocadillos. She does this kind of weekly review format, which I really enjoy, where she talks about her highs and lows, the reading she's been doing, like one recipe she tried for that week. So she does that on a weekly basis. I don't think I will do that often because looking at the backlog of videos I still want to upload and edit and get through, I don't think I could fit another weekly video on top of that. So I think I'm gonna try it on a monthly rhythm and see how that goes, see if you like it, if you find it interesting. For me, I kind of like it because it gives me kind of a nice, neat record of my life, of the things that have been going on each month. So I quite like that idea. Again, it's just a trial and see how it goes and see if that's something that you enjoy as well. So starting with my June goals, I had 5-ish goals for the month of June. The first one was to attempt the 1000 words of summer challenge, which is writing 1000 words a day for 2 weeks at the beginning of June. And I've recently posted a whole vlog about the experience. I also have another vlog about a specific part of the challenge where I went on a mini writing retreat, which was absolutely lovely. So you can see in more detail my experience with this challenge in those other videos. So overall, this is a check. I completed this goal. I succeeded in this challenge and wrote 15,000 words. So that's a win. My second goal was to not buy any new book during the month of June, which is another success. I didn't purchase any books. I still got some books, but I got those for free. I'll talk about them a bit later in the video, but overall that's still allowed. That's a win. I had kind of a second part to that goal, which was to curate my bookshelves, so kind of do a little bit of a spring cleaning and unhauling any books that I don't either plan to read or don't plan to reread and like that are not really adding any value to my bookshelves. I have not done that, but might still do that hopefully in the near future. So that one was like a half goal that I didn't accomplish. Goal number 3 was to invest in my hobbies, and in that first June video when I was talking about my goals, I was talking about the concept of different types of fun. So relaxing fun, which is like watching TV, scrolling on social media, playing video games, kind of things that don't require any planning or energy. And then you have accommodating fun, which I would probably call social fun, which is making plans with other people. And then challenging fun, which is something that requires a little bit more effort, but it also is also more rewarding. So I did pretty well on the social fun. I had my mom who came for a long weekend, so we did a lot of fun things together, which was absolutely lovely. And I also hosted my first kind of official party in the house. We've been in this house for a bit over a year now, so it was long overdue, and so we had kind of a garden party. It's just such a big word for what was basically just a group of people chatting over snacks, but we were outside, which was the goal. And so we did that for midsummer. That was absolutely brilliant. I really had a great time. I felt like I was a bit trolled by the weather though, because the weather was crap, like grey and rainy all the time, all the days leading up to the event. So I couldn't really work in the garden and make it as nice as I would want to. In the end, I decided, okay, we're just gonna do that inside, it's fine. And then, I kid you not, 10 minutes before the start of the party, like when people were starting to arrive, the sun showed up. And so we kind of scrambled to move everything outside and just like do the quick cleanup so we could enjoy the garden and have a fun time outside. But it was definitely worth it and it was a lot of fun. So I'm definitely planning on doing that more often. When it comes to effortful fun or challenging fun, I did not really do that. I mean, I did the writing challenge, which writing is a hobby for me, so that would count, and that was definitely challenging but also very rewarding. But other than that, I haven't really spent time with my other hobbies, so I didn't really play music or made any progress on my little miniature of like the magic wand shop, if you've seen that video, or things like that. So I mean, again, like half of the month was taken with the writing challenge, so that was already taking up quite a bit of my time. And then for the last week of June, I was sick with COVID, so I was just in bed trying to make it to the next day without losing my mind, and just watching a lot of YouTube. So with those circumstances, I think I did not too bad. But yeah, it's definitely something I need to make more an effort to like make the time for it and really be mindful and make the space for it. Be intentional. Being intentional is the word that I was looking for. My goal number 4 was to design my summer. So this is another idea from Gretchen Rubin, which definitely I'm going to mention later on again in this video. I really like her work, if you can tell. And so the idea is just to have kind of a plan. Again, being intentional about what you want out of your summer, because it's often a distinct season and it will look different for a lot of people compared to the rest of the year. So I've been doing some thinking about this and already kind of took steps into enjoying my summer. But so here are the things I have on my list for this summer. So I want to enjoy my garden more. And so I already took steps in that direction. If you've watched my 1000 Words of Summer vlog, then you would have seen that I've purchased a hammock chair, which best buy I've ever made. It's just fantastic. We were kind of missing outside furniture or just like places to lounge and chill in the garden. Like we didn't really have proper chairs for the garden or things like that. So that's now fixed. And so now we don't have an excuse not to enjoy the garden. But yeah, the second part of that is also being a bit more diligent with the maintenance of the garden. So like kind of mowing the lawn more regularly and things like that, so that it stays in a shape that's enjoyable. And so we're more likely, me and my husband, to spend time outside and enjoy it. The second thing I want to focus on this summer is to explore a little bit more the area around where I live. I live in a gorgeous area, like in a gorgeous part of France. I'm 1 hour and a half away from the mountain, same from the ocean, and I don't make the most of it, or I don't go there as much as I would want to. Like, it's been a recurring conversation with my husband that we should go out more in nature and like visit places and things like that on the more like a day-to-day way, like not a proper travel, because that requires more money and more planning and all of that. So just kind of like casual exploring. Again, it's been a conversation going on for years. It was already the case when we were living in Sweden, when we were living in other parts of France. So I don't expect us to radically change on that front. But again, by being a bit more intentional and having smaller goals, I think we could still do better. And so the writing retreat I did for myself was kind of part of that. I went to a lovely place on the coast, saw the ocean. So that's a check for this summer. I wanted to see the ocean. I would like to go to the mountains as well, at least once during the summer. And I'm working on that. But yeah, I also have this little book with 25 easy walks to do in the area around where I live. So maybe we can motivate each other to do that, maybe like on the Sunday mornings, maybe not every week, but every other week or something. Working on that, this is a work in progress. It's been years in the making. Overall, like a lot of those things for Design My Summer are kind of interacting with each other. So the next one is Please My Senses. So back to Gretchen Rubin, she has this idea of making a 5 senses portrait of summer. So the idea is just a list of the things for each sense that evoke that season. So for example, for taste, for me that would be watermelon, peaches, popsicles, things like that. And so I want to really zoom in into that and really appreciate the sensory experience of summer. So tasting summery foods, appreciating summery scents, listening to summer music and all of that good stuff. Next, I put on my list to fall back in love with reading. I feel like I've been in a reading slump for quite a while and it's a bit up and down. I want to rekindle my love for reading. I've always loved reading, I still love reading, but I want to make it more of an experience. So for example, getting that hammock chair for the garden, being able to read in there is just wonderful. I absolutely love it. And so that's one example of how I'm making the experience of reading much more enjoyable and yeah, just getting the most out of it. I'm also going to do something fun for my TBR this month, so watch out for that video as well. And that, yeah, got me excited for like books to read this month. Next, and again, kind of tying up to previous goals of being outside, exploring the area and all of that, I would like to go to at least one fun fair or one rent fair. There are a bunch of medieval festivals in the area. I don't know how many are this summer. I mean, at least 2, but I know that I'll be away for one of the big ones. So hopefully I can still manage to go to one. I think that would be like a very summery experience. And yeah, again, kind of making the most of things happening where I live. And then the final thing for this summer is I want to have a summer of Taylor Swift. In August, I'm gonna travel to London with one of my best friends from Sweden, and we have tickets for the Eras Tour, which I'm very excited about. I don't consider myself like a full-blown Swiftie. I do really like her music, but I'm not like a massive fan. But this felt like such a cultural moment, such an experience. So I really wanted to be part of the fun and be part of that community. It just seems to be such a wholesome experience and moment. So I'm very excited and also very excited to be going with my friend. And so, yeah, I want to make sure that I'm making the most of that experience. I think you leave 3 times. You leave like in the present moment. So obviously when I'll be at the concert, I want to savor it, have fun, enjoy it. But you also live in the future in the sense that all the anticipation, all the imagination, kind of projecting yourself into the moment is part of the fun. And then obviously reminiscing, remembering the good memories and all of that. But I really want to make sure that I also maximize the anticipation part. So I want to listen to a bunch of Taylor Swift songs before the concert and maybe learn a little bit more of the lyrics so that I can sing along. I know some of them, but not all. And yeah, just have a fun time and get excited. That's the idea. So that was everything around Design My Summer. That was a big one. And then I had a final goal that was not really under my control for the month of June, and that was to reach 100 subscribers on this channel. As I'm filming this, you are 98 people subscribe to my channel. So we're very, very close to 100, and this is already amazing. I'm kind of mind blown and so excited and grateful that so many of you want to spend time with me and watch my videos. So thank you so much. I really, really appreciate you. And yeah, I'm very excited that you're with me on this journey. All right, so that was the whole June recap and how I did on my goals. I think I did pretty okay, especially for like the goals I didn't accomplish with the circumstances. I think it kind of makes sense and was to be expected. Now moving on to the kind of broader June review, and so that part inspired by Maria Andrea. I want to go through kind of my highs of the month, my lows, and then a little bit of a writing check-in, and then a reading check-in. That's kind of the plan. So in terms of highs for this month, I had quite a few and I've already mentioned a good number of them. The new hammock chair is just, I love it so much. I'm so happy about it, and I'm kind of kicking myself for not purchasing it earlier, but now I'm really, really happy with it. So that's definitely a high, and that's kind of a gift to myself that keeps on giving. Next, well, completing the writing challenge was a big one, and doing the writing retreat was just wonderful and one of the nicest things I've done for myself in a while. So yeah, that was great. Having my mum over and then all of our friends and family for that midsummer garden party was also lovely. And then a good friend of mine asked me to be her witness at her wedding in September. So I'm very touched and very moved. And obviously I said yes, and I'm very excited. So yeah, quite a positive month and lots of good things. In terms of lows, well, I think getting COVID was definitely my lowest point, and it took me out for a full week. It was not fun, and I'm still recovering. I'm still pretty tired and still having a lingering cough, but I'm much better now. I'm finally able to film. I've been having major FOMO, so I'm glad that I'm finally operational again. And yeah, so that's out. Like, I don't want that again. So in terms of writing updates, so obviously I did the 1000 words of summer challenge. I wrote over 15,000 words this month. Since I ended the challenge, I haven't worked a lot on my novel. Again, because I've had my mum over and then I was sick, and then I needed a little break from it as well because the challenge was quite intense. But one thing I did was also join a new writers group. So we meet every Tuesday morning to write, and I'm really enjoying it. I think it's really lovely having other writers, having that dedicated time as well. So I know that at the very least, I have this meeting to focus on my project and be in touch with it. So I think it's very good for accountability as well. In terms of artist dates, I did kind of my usual day out in the city, like going to my favorite cafe and doing my little writerly stuff there. But mainly, obviously, I did the writing retreat, which was like a massive artist date. And I also went to another concert, like similar to the one I had at the library, which was like with Ghibli music and manga music and all of that, which was absolutely lovely. It doesn't really count as an artist day because I was with my husband, but it was still a lovely experience. I will count that in. Now, in terms of reading, I had a very short TBR for June. I didn't do well on that. I think I had 4 books. One was 1000 Words by Jamie Ettenberg, so the writer who organizes the writing challenge. I started that but didn't finish it, so I'm gonna roll it over to July. And then I had Pace Yourself by Amy Arthur, Why Women Grow by Alice Vincent, and This Is What It Sounds Like by Susan Rogers, I think, and Ogi Ogas. I still don't know how to pronounce that. Didn't read any of those, which is fine. I didn't want to put any pressure on myself. But in total, I read 4 books this month. 2 were French novels, which were okay, not amazing. The first one was Poussière Blonde, which would translate as gold dust or golden dust, which is very much marketed as a book about Marilyn Monroe, but in reality it really is not. She's like an important character in the story, but it's the story of another character who meets Marilyn Monroe, and that meeting has a big influence on her life, but that's mainly her story. So it was okay. Didn't really like it. I thought the writing was not good, kind of mediocre. I don't like to say that, but yeah, I was not impressed. And if I had known that it was really not a book about Marilyn, then I would have not read it. And I only finished it because my mom read it too, and she kind of really pushed for me to finish it. So not great. The next one is called Le Grand Feu, so that would be The Great Fire, which is about a young girl who's placed into an orphanage in Venice to learn music, and she's learning with Vivaldi, which is quite the teacher. And it's kind of her story growing up there, falling in love, and yeah, I quite liked it, but it's not a new favorite, so kind of middle of the road, I would say. But I was really interested by the topic. I actually saw a movie, Gloria, on the same topic, and I like that way more. So yeah, that was another artist date that I did. I went to the movies by myself, and no, I was not. I was with my mom. Jesus, I can't remember a thing. Anyway, then I finally read Heartstopper Volume 1, which I really enjoyed. Now I'm a bit in a pickle because the next volumes, like I got it from my library, but now I'm waiting for the next ones to come through, and I'm second in line, and I'm likely gonna wait for weeks, if not a month, which is very depressing. But yeah, Heartstopper, loved it. And finally, I listened to The T in LGBT Plus by Jamie Rains, which is a book about being transgender. I thought it would be more of a memoir, but it feels more like a practical book, like a self-helpy book. It was still very interesting, kind of hearing about a lot of trans people's experience and what the transition journey can be like and all of that. So it was very interesting, very insightful. I learned quite a bit. Jamie's also a YouTuber, so I will link his channel down below, and yeah, go check it out. I think it's really cool. And his wife also has a channel that I really love, so I will put them both down below. And then finally, kind of a little book haul section. So my goal for June was not to buy any books, so I didn't buy any books, but one person that I know is kind of moving away, and so she had a bunch of books to give away for free, so I obviously jumped on the occasion. I got 5 books. The first one is The Hobbit by Tolkien, which is kind of classic fantasy, but I've never read it. And then I got 4 Robin Hood books, which are the 4 books in the Rain Wild Chronicles. I have no idea what this is about. Looks like there are dragons. Sign me up. I've heard very good things about Robin Hood. Again, she's one of the big fantasy writers, so I would like to get her work at some point. So yeah, if I'm gonna get her books for free, I'm gonna take it. Thank you very much. That's it for this June wrap-up kind of life update, where I've been, what I've been doing. For July, as I mentioned, I have a fun TBR video coming up, which I'm very excited about, and some fun reading plans. This video is already probably too long, so thank you if you've made it to the end. Let me know in the comments what you've been up to in June. How was your month? What did you do? What were your highs and lows? Did you read any new favorite books? As always, thank you so much for watching. I'm so glad that you're spending this time with me. So grateful. So yeah, thanks again, and I hope to see you in the next one. Bye-bye. I wrote over 15,000. No. Again, it's been a years. And then I needed a little bit, Okay. Who's calling me? 5 books.